so I've already tried to film this a few times and I keep crying, but we're gonna get through this. You might see a lot of cuts and it's me just trying to get my composure back, but we're gonna get through it because I wanna talk to everybody and I want to discuss something that's really important to me.
You see, the way you're thinking, even slow, that's the way it's supposed to be done. And when you're doing it fast, you gotta do it exactly the same way. Making it better already.
And I have my little anxiety ring to keep me company and hopefully help push me through this conversation. But let's get into what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the reason why I started the Champ series. A lot of people are saying, oh, it's just so she could show how great she is or things like that. And it's actually like the exact opposite. I wanted to start the Champ series to keep myself honest because there was a long period of time where I stopped training competitively and I kind of lost who I was because for the longest time of my life, I've just been a competitor competing at high levels, breaking world records and doing crazy stuff. But COVID hit and I completely stopped everything that I was doing. And that was like a few years of my life and I just never got back on track. And I was like, you know what, Savannah, like you're turning 30 and I wanted to prove to myself that I could be just as good as I was when I was 20. And I think I say it in one of the videos where I straight up say that I will be stronger at 30 than I was at 20. And so I started this series to keep myself on track and to keep myself honest. And to show everybody that even at a high level competitor like myself, a high level athlete, things are tough. It's hard. And these workouts are really, really draining. And they're very difficult, even for me. And I wanted to take it as inspiration for not other people. If it's for other people, that's amazing. But also for myself. Because then it keeps myself honest and keeps me on track. And that's what I want. Because it's kind of like check-ins. So that's why I started this series. And the cherry on top is the fact that through this, I am inspiring other people and I'm empowering other people to do the same and to start training if they took time off of training, and to tell you it's not too late to start your training or restart or whatever, wherever you are. And the receptiveness of everybody, receptiveness, is that even a word? How receptive everyone is? I think that makes more sense. How receptive everyone is to this has been absolutely insane. And like, I feel just super blessed to be able to get the amount of support that I'm getting, because I'm literally talking about how hard everything is every single workout. And I'm complaining, but I'm getting the work done. And you know what? That's me keeping it real and authentic with everybody. I'm not always wanting to train. I'm not a robot. It's hard, and sometimes I don't want to do it. And I think that's the reality for everyone. So I'm glad that I've been able to inspire some people, but also inspire and keep myself on track. And with this empowerment piece that I got and I put through this Champ series, I was able to create some content, and it was my favorite piece of content that I have literally ever created in my whole social media career. And it's the empowerher video that I posted on Instagram and TikTok. If you haven't checked it out, go look at it, it's fire. But if you have, you would have seen that it's about my story in martial arts. It's like my come up story, my inspo, and why I started and how I was able to become who I am in martial arts specifically, and honestly, as a person. And although it's like, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute long, we were able to jam pack it with my story, but there are some pieces that I kind of wanted to touch base on because, again, it's like less than a minute, so you're not going to get everything in the minute as much as I tried to. The main thing here is my sister, like, has been my inspo for, like, ever. So I know when people usually ask me, like, who's my motivational person in martial arts, I usually say my dad. And it's because he's my instructor and he's taught me what I do. But my sister is my inspo because of what she had to do and what she had endured to be able to become the athlete that she did and to pave the way for other female athletes, which is me, in the martial arts world. So basically, when she was training and when she was doing her thing in martial arts, there were no female competitors. She was like 1 out of like 500. And she was on top regardless. She was number 1, and a lot of, I hate to say it, but a lot of men didn't like that. And unfortunately, with that came a lot of adult men trying to tear her down. And with that came a lot of abuse. And you may say to me like, Sylvana, this is martial arts. Like, come on, like you're in a contact sport. To that I say, yeah, of course. But as an instructor myself now, I know what and how to train each one of my students. Every single person that walks through my door, I know how hard to push them and I know what to do with each person specifically. No one person is like the other. With that being said, when she was training back where we were, there came a line and the line was crossed every time. They hit her like to the point where you're not trying to just make her stronger, you're trying to show that you are all powerful. Why? For what reason? For what reason? And the most powerful part of Lorenza, of my sister, is no matter how hard they knocked her down, you know what? She may have gotten hurt. But what makes her the most powerful is she always stood back up like nothing fazed her. There was one specific memory for me, I was like pretty young, where I was sitting on the bench. So the bench was beside the main floor. My sister's doing her thing and she gets front kicked so hard. She flies across the carpet into what was water fountains. So she gets kicked into water fountains. I'm sitting right there watching the whole thing. I'm like, okay. And you know what she does? She gets up, walks back onto the floor, continues what she's doing. Like, what a rock star, right? But that's not right. That shouldn't have happened. And the amount of times that happened, countless. When people's backs are turned, they would take that as an opportunity to literally abuse. That's not martial arts. That's ego. And it has no space in martial arts. So with that being said, that's my story. And the fact that she was able to take what she did, still thrive, and be able to impact me in a way that I got the positive environment that she should have gotten to. But she took what she could, gave it to me, and now I'm able to give it to the next generation of female athletes and female martial artists. And that's so powerful. And I'm so blessed to be able to have been given that opportunity specifically from her. So without her, I don't think I'd be who I am. So I hope this reaches who needs to hear this final piece. But I'm taking the message that I got from my sister into my life, and I'm hoping to share it into your life, which is, if you're in a space filled with people, or even if it's one person that's not building you up and helping you reach your potential and your goals, find a new place, find people that support you, and find a better environment, because you are good enough and you can reach those goals.
Da 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 da.